Hey everyone, it's Tony for eModels.co.uk. I'll try that again. eModels, not eModels. eModels.co.uk. Sorry, Peter. Sorry, Gavin. Sorry, guys. Start again. Take 5. Hey everyone, it's Tony for eModels.co.uk. Welcome to part 9 of the Valentino Rossi high-speed riding set build, in which we shall be carrying on with the decals the following morning after the night before, if that made any sense whatsoever. I don't know, I shouldn't drink this much coffee. I'm slurring. What's that about? Oh, it's been that kind of day, it really has. So, I'm tired, I'm going to go to bed in a second, because I'm actually processing episode 8 now. Yeah. So sit back, relax. No, before you sit back and relax, go get yourself a brew. Coffee, tea, vodka, beer, I don't know, whatever it is you drink. Grab some snacks and sit back and we'll finish off, I think, hopefully, the helmet. Morning. Yeah, I know, morning. Getting ready for work this morning. I work at a hospital. I'm contracted for 37.5 hours per week. But the hospital decides when I do that 37.5 hours. That's my contract, and I'm happy with that. Get a phone call this morning at 7:30 as I'm getting ready for work. It's the boss. Could you cover weekend? Yeah, alright. The only thing is, you can't do it as overtime because we've not got the budget for it anymore. So it means you've got the next 2 days off if you work weekend. So I've got 2 days off. 2 days off. But I'm working weekend. Never mind. So, let's say good morning. It's been overnight. We've let this sort itself out and it looks brilliant. I'm really happy with that. Look at that. Gorgeous. So, I've got to decide now whether or not to... Still a couple of wrinkles though, but I can live with that. So I've got to decide now whether to seal that alloy with varnish now to protect that before I start applying the other bits and bobs. So, yeah, I'm going to gloss varnish all that first, just protect it. Like I say, it's dried overnight, it's settled down, so if I start adding this stuff now, we're in danger of ruining what we've already got. No, stop. Let's gloss varnish it. So we'll take care of that. Quite fun, that one. Right, so let's pick this up very carefully because I've still got setting solution on there. So that one there at the front, there is a slight wonk to it, as you can see there from that sticky out bit. Hopefully the lighting's not messing about with that one too much, but there's a seam right at the front here and it's actually lined up perfectly. It's brilliant. I'm happy with that. Very happy. Just having a bit of trouble with this 46 at the back. There's still a couple of corners keep lifting up, but the number 1 bottle, the set, yeah, the number 1 bottle set is still doing its thing at the moment with that, so it's stretching it, shrinking back, stretching it, shrinking back, but it's not as aggressive as the number 2 bottle, the Sol, which is, like say, the X20A. So this one's softening it, this one will actually make it wrinkle up and then shrink back in and grab all the curves and things like that. I've still got a couple of wrinkles here and there that I can see now I've varnished it again, but I can live with that. You know, if you look at it at a proper viewing distance, you're not going to see it. They're that tiny. Now, I know they're there, and I know that's going to annoy a couple of other guys as well if you can see these things. But to be honest, considering the complexity that we've got to work with here, that's not a bad job at all. I'm very, very happy with that so far. So we're going to leave the set to do its thing with this one. Just get it nice and soft for us to try and bed it down a little bit better. Let's just raise a little bit there in the corner. So it's not quite grabbing. You've got this vent here that goes across the top. It's not quite grabbing that that corner yet. But that's where the number 2 bottle will come in handy. Same with back here. We've got a couple of details that this needs to shrink into. That's where your number 2 bottle comes in. So we'll let that to go off 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to go make another coffee. Oh, it's settling down nicely. I've still got a sticky up corner. It's a bit like first thing in the morning you get that little sticky up bit of hair. Bit of hair, get your words out, Tony. Bit of hair. It's kind of like that. So hopefully the number 2 bottle, the solution Sol thing, that actually sets it. But it's so very confusing, that. So I'll give it a good dousing in that. Remember, don't flood the area, just enough to get it on there, and then leave it. Let it do its thing. Don't go playing with it. Let's say with the cheaper decals, you'll see it go like that and then trim that down again. And it looks wrong. Don't panic. It's supposed to do that. So again, whack it on there, leave it, let it do its thing. Come back about 5 or 10 minutes later. This is the worst part, the 5 or 10 minutes. You sit there giving it all this, and I've probably done that. I've probably left it in the video, hopefully. I'll stuck some daft music over the top. But you literally do sit there giving it all this, and it's, oh, more coffee. My hands are giving it all this now because I've got that much coffee in me. No, don't make another coffee, go drink some water. Because I did this last time, I drank too much coffee and ended up with kidney stones because I didn't drink enough. No, stop, too much information. Oh my god! So I'm just going to take our time with this one a little bit. There's a little slit in the white decal just there, which needs to line up, but we need to get the bottom lined up to start with to make it set down properly. Ooh, he's being a fiddly little monkey. Yes you are. Yes you are. Oh my god, I'm doing baby talk even to a decal. So there we go, that's roughly in position. He says, knocking it out of position again. Oh, will you stop? You're being a tricky little salsa, aren't you? There's always one that will test your swear words. Your naughty words. The naughty words we're not allowed to use on camera. Which explains another reason why I do a lot of time lapse. No, not really. Yeah, we do. No, we don't. Here we do. No, we don't. So push out your mouth, Tony, so that people can hear you. Just going to very, very gently dab away at that one. Just to get rid of the excess. That's a bit lumpy and bumpy. Not quite lined up, but I'm not going to mess about with that one now. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to have the little quirk bit more softener over the top, just to help it keep that curve there. But I'm going to have that little jaunty angle to it. I'm not messing about with that now, it's on. Just another quick dab just to make sure. There we go, right, leave that for another 5 or 10 minutes and go get me lunch. You know what, for a tricky little monster, that one's actually one of the best ones that went on. So just have at it now with the number 2 bottle, which is the red one, which is, I can never bloody remember, Sol. The Sol bottle. Let's give it a good coating and then leave it, let it do its thing for the next 5 or 10 minutes. Like I say, this is the boring part, that 5 to 10 minute wait in between layers. No, not them ones. Are we allowed to do that? Probably not. I'll probably get the copyright people shouting at me again. Keep shouting at me for using things that I'm not supposed to use on my own channel. Rubbish. Wrong one. Ah, Tony. Safety cost for the helmet. I caught the wrong AGU decal then nearly. That's the one for inside the liner. I don't know. And what you're not getting to see as well in between takes is every time I'm using the water, I'm actually changing that now for fresh water, because if it goes too cold, room temperature won't quite do it. So you need it where it's nice and warm. It's kind of like the same kind of warmth when you put your finger in your mouth and it's that lovely, oh that's nice and warm, that kind of warmth. Whereas room temperature is a little bit too cold. Obviously room temperature is about 23 degrees Celsius, something like that. Possibly wrong, but body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. I'm not too sure what the Fahrenheit is. I'll pop that underneath here-ish somewhere. So you want it kind of like, you know, nice comfortable warmth. Yeah, more coffee. So like I say, if it's too cold, then it won't activate any adhesive that's on the decal. Because some of them do have a little bit of adhesive on the backing paper. Excuse me. So, move the number 2 brush out of the way. Go with the number 1 brush. And we're adding the finicky little details now, so a little bit more of the solution on there. This is the number 1 bottle, the blue bottle, the set. Does get a bit confusing that, it's not quite ready. Does get a bit confusing that. Using set as the softener and salt as the setter. Yeah, not my company. I would definitely change that. Still, makes sense to somebody somewhere. These things often do. It's not quite ready. Ooh, another TMI moment. Oh, this is a ZOMG TMI moment. Yes. I recently ran out of dental floss, and I only just managed to get some this morning. And I tell you what, considering I've not flossed for 3 days, it's surprising how much crap actually gets in between your teeth in 3 days. And this is with, you know, my normal dental care routine apart from flossing. The build-up was ridiculous. It really was. My dentist would be shouting at me right now if my dentist watched these. I'm not going to tell him. He's another lovely fella, Alex. Alex, my dentist. Lovely lad. He's approaching his late 20s now. I've been with him for a couple of years, and it's one of these when you're having a chat with him and you make a random reference to something in the 90s, he doesn't quite remember it because he was only a kid at the time, and he's just like, oh, what are they teaching you lot? Anything to do with the 80s? That's before my time, that, mate. Yeah, thanks for that, Alex. That's made me feel really special. Oh, he's not cooperating, Jim. Gentle dab, gentle dab. Don't go scrubbing. Gentle dab. There we go. Right, leave that to do its thing. Another 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah. So it comes to something when one of your main healthcare practitioners, the dentist, doesn't remember the last great English football team, which was the Euro 1916. You can say whatever you want about the other teams that have come after that. That for me was the last best English team, and I'm Welsh, and that was, you know, being an ex-football coach, being professionally trained as a kid, I appreciate football in all forms. You know, I don't do football teams, I don't do nationalities and things like that, but I am Welsh, and for me that was the best English team, the 1916. So close to glory, so close. Everything else after that has been rubbish. So that's my little rant about football. Yeah, apparently I'm not a bloke in England if I don't do the thing about football. Whatever. Right, 5-10 minutes and then off. So I'll tell you what, whilst we're waiting for that to do its thing, Jim. Do its thing, Jim. Gotta stop listening to the game show. Hop, hit, hop, hit, hop, hit. Oh, there we go. Buzzers. Now I'm going to actually try and do this without varnishing them first. So let's go for that first. Ooh, click. Wow, that's firm. Oh, that nearly went to me, bro. So, where's my sandy stick? I've got a little nub there. Just trim that back a little bit. I'm trying not to get any fingerprints on this whilst I'm at it. Tell you what, let's get another glove on. Sorry, I've got my armpit in your face. Sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Stay. No, stay. Stay. You're a good boy. There you go. I'm flying all over the place. Hop. That's the best bit of gloves. You can't put on a pair of nitrile gloves without doing the clicky thing. It doesn't quite work the same as latex gloves do. You don't quite get the snap, but oh yeah, great noise. Brilliant noise. So just very carefully trim the nubs away. Nubs. And got the skinny sandy stick. Very gently. Just a quick nibble like that. Get it nice and smooth. And with a smoother grit. Excuse me. Even smoother grit. And then a polisher. Just takes care of it. There we go. Just do the same on the top side. Just don't go scrubbing away at this. Just very gentle. Try not to square the top off. And then it's super smooth, and then the polisher right at the end. There we go. Normally I would dip this, that's what I was getting to, I would dip this in future to give us that nice shiny smooth surface, but I'm actually going to try it without the future because it's super smooth, it really is. It does feel, it sounds daft, but it feels visibly different from normal windscreen canopy type things. I know, that makes no sense whatsoever. It's me, these things never do. I thought you'd learnt that by now about me. I open my mouth and nothing makes sense. Right, so that's the monster from one side. I need the turtle for that side too. So I'll get rid of those numbers, I don't need those numbers. Get those numbers because I don't need those numbers, I need the Chihuahua sign, which is number 17. Careful. So I need that for the visor as well. So I'll pop that off there. To the side I need those for the helmet liners. And this one goes around the front of the mush. There's all kinds of shenanigans going on downstairs. Yeah, you do. Get the broom. Indeed, right. I lost my agoos. Where's my agoos gone? Yeah, I'll worry about those in a bit. So, if this doesn't go to plan, not to worry. I've got another visor. I'm not actually planning on displaying a helmet separately, so I've always got that in the back of my mind. I'm not doing a helmet separately. That is a spare helmet in case this goes wrong, which it won't do because we're awesome and we don't get things wrong. We have happy accidents, but we are awesome. I'm not saying I, I'm saying we, because you lot are awesome as well. Without you lot, I couldn't do this. So this is all down to you guys too. You guys watch these things, which means I can carry on. And I will forever be grateful. Forever be grateful. I will never be able to express it properly in words, because words like that don't exist to express how grateful I am. Which is true. I've literally just had that chat with Bill. Hiya, Bill. Yeah, Bill gets a mention. Just had that chat with Bill. Without people like Bill, without people like you lot, like Terry and Fox and Adam and Leon. Leon, if you're watching. Who else have we got? There's at least 4 Chris's. In particular, Langy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. There's a Benoit out there as well. Who else have we got? There's that many of you. It's dead hard to keep up with. Oh, Stomping! I can't forget Stomping. Stomping's always one of the first to go on the videos. Yeah, I know. Stomping doesn't actually talk like that. Stomping is actually one of the most intelligent people I've ever met, even though we've not met physically in person. He's got one hell of a brain in that head of his. The knowledge that lad's got is immense. It really is. Right, where are we? I still can't find those decals. Here we go. That's sliding. Right. That's sliding. That's sliding, Jim. So, quick wiggle with the stuff on the what's it. Just to break that surface tension a little bit. On with the decal. Decal. Potato. Now then, are you going to have a naughty little ridge? A naughty little edge that's going to put everything out to cock. Just give that a quick slide around and quick dab for the tissue. It'd been a nice flat surface. Don't speak with a brush in your mouth. It'd been a nice flat surface. This technically shouldn't need that much in the way of the setting sole. Technically. You watch it go and prove me wrong. Right, there is a slight edge to that. So we have to do a little bit of finagling just to get that edge away. Get it squared off. Like so. That technically should be that. I should be able to leave that now to do its thing. So like I say, even though there's a curve there, it's not a complex curve, it's just round the corner. So we shouldn't need too much in the way of setting sole. So while we're here, we'll get the turtle on. He's tiny. Oh, he's tiny. He's a cute little turtle. What we will do is we'll dip this canopy afterwards. We'll not spray it, we'll dip it. We'll dip it, we'll pointy finger. We'll dip this. Like we did with the windscreen on the Yamaha itself, just to seal these decals down and protect them a little bit from anything that we do afterwards. Protect it from dust and things like that, because dust on top of row decals. Really does love to sit there, and you'll never be able to wipe it off. Oh, my Labrador's getting shouted at again. She's still got a bucket on her head. Stitches are out of the air now. She's still got the bucket on her head for at least another week, whilst everything's settling down and doing its thing. Great. She's whacking into everything, including my legs. And she's got this habit. My left knee dislocates at the best of times. I can do it rolling over in my sleep. She's got this habit of sneaking up behind me and then giving me a right whack behind the left knee, which makes the whole knee shunt forward. My whole knee goes like that and back in again. Which doesn't half make me feel squeamish when it happens. It's a horrible feeling. Okay, you know, TMI. Well, these are the things I have to deal with. Slam the gate, Mr. Postman. There's a tiny little decal there, which we need to get. Where are we? We need to get right in the corner there, so it's not obstructing his field of view, which would of course be silly and illegal. I just must not have camera, I do apologise. Go on, slide. So again, because we've got a nice smooth surface, we've got a nice smooth curve instead of a complex one. That should be it. That should be all we need to do. Just squeeze the moisture away, let surface tension do its thing and suck down. Lovely. Right, so we'll leave that for about 5 minutes to do its thing so I can move around and handle it, which is why I'm wearing the gloves. It's not going to activate with the oils and the sweat in my skin and start pulling away with my fingers. It shouldn't stick to these, he says. So, 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to see what the postman's just delivered. Back in a minute. Yeah, we've just taken a selfie. Right, let's get the lighting back in. Oh, that's shenanigans. Yeah, I know. Oh, that's silly nonsense. all on. I am absolutely over the moon with that. There's still the odd wrinkle here and there, but we can live with that. It's, you know, you're going to see it unless you're like really up close like this. But that is absolutely stunning. Like I say, don't expect to do this in half an hour or anything like that. This has been done over, what, 3 hours last night, 3 hours, possibly 4 today. So it's been a good day's worth of work. So we've just got the logos on now. So it's that one, the monster at the front. We've got this one at the top. Where are we? The other Agu on this side, and the little Japanese rider just here. So we're just going to leave that now for about 5 or 10 minutes, because like I said, probably just seen from that last clip, I've done all that in one go. So we're just going to leave that for about 5 or 10 minutes for the sole set, this one, the blue bottle, stop it, to do its thing, and bed these down a little bit. Then we'll come back, we'll throw some number 2, which is the sole, over the top. Yeah, the sole. Throw all that over the top just to get them to scrunch up, settle down, scrunch up, settle down a little bit. And I can just about make out right there where the seam is for the helmet halves. So once all that's settled in, we'll do that over the next hour or so. I'll just keep adding this stuff over the top until I'm happy. So that'll be like every 10 minutes for an hour, just to see how things are going. And then once I'm happy with it, we'll let it settle overnight. We'll gloss varnish that tomorrow morning, because I'm off work tomorrow morning as well. And we'll see if we can split the helmet halves in 2, and then we can have that for the Rossi figure. That's the plan anyway. That's why I'm keeping a spare helmet, just in case this does go belly up. So I'm going to get up, walk around, my bum's gone numb again, and I'll come back to that in about 10 minutes. What's happening with the lights in here now? Right, shift that. Don't need that now. Don't need those. Don't need those. Don't need those. Right, shift that. Okie doke. So whilst all that's settling and getting ready for varnish, I've just been having a quick nosy at this, seeing if I can convert the helmet a little bit. So we've got the back of the helmet there, which goes onto the, actually goes onto the magneto helmet. There we go, there's the magneto. So what I'm trying to figure out now is, with the spare helmet, that's how it works with the spare helmet. So you get the rear helmet liner that you put the decal into, get the magneto helmet, and then we add that one to the front, which is obviously the face mush. So we got face mush, like that, like that. What I'm trying to figure out is, can I add the back half? Oh, beauty. Beauty, 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 beauty. Right, that solves that problem then. If I add the back liner to the rear of Valentino's head, I can actually then take the front off. Just display the face. That's what I'm after. Lovely. I like that. So that's the plan with this one. Split that in half, so I can do that and display his face, which is what I've seen online. Now the only thing I do have to worry about is on the rear helmet liner, obviously. If you can see there, we've got these gaps. Now, do I fill those gaps in, or do I leave it as is? Well, that's the next dilemma. And to be honest, because I genuinely don't know anything about this TPE stuff, if that was regular plastic, I would actually fill that in with something like milliput, you know, the 2-part epoxy stuff, wherever it's gone, this stuff. Oh. So I'd actually, come on, I don't know, come back out. I'd actually make some of this stuff up. So it's like 2 parts. You trim equal quantities off, mix it all together, and you end up with a great big solid blob of filler that I would then add either side. But with this being TPE, I don't know how that stuff's going to react with it. So I'm going to leave that as is for now until I can figure out something better. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scrape all that paint back off the edge here, attach it to the back of Valley's head, and then touch in anything else that we need to touch in, like the edge there. You can see the white edge. We'll touch that back in with that dark grey that we used earlier, and then we can crack on from there. I'm liking that. So in theory I should just be able to scrape that away with the back of a knife. Lovely. So in this case, because I'm using the rear helmet liner on the back of Valentino's head, I don't actually need to put these decals on, or this decal even. So I'm not planning on having that separate. That's a spare one just in case this goes wrong, which it's looking more and more like it won't do. So far, at least anyway. Famous last words and all that. So I'll get the back of the helmet there. Just make sure we can line up. Like so. Just so I can get my bearings. So that looks about right. Okay, so we're going to get some of the goopy stuff this time. Goopy stuff. The goopy stuff, not the Tamiya thin. Not the Tamiya thin. It's right there. Hello. So like we did with the gloves with the brass knuckles. It's not brass knuckles at all, is it? The chrome piece that we put in the knuckles. Come here, you. So this chrome piece here. We're actually going to ignore that brush completely. Just pop it off to the side like that, and we're going to get a cocking tail stick. So hopefully this will work. I'm actually going to do it to the back edge of Valley's head. There, like so. Now with this stuff being a little, show you on camera, that'll help. This stuff being a little bit goopier, you get a little bit more playtime than you do with the Tamiya thin, which tends to evaporate really quickly and do a super fast job. So we're just going to give that a little squish there. Now there's a little bit of overspill. I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm going to take the rear helmet liner, just make sure that lines up. The front helmet liner, just to make sure that we're okay. Like so, right, so I'm happy with that. Pop that off to the side now to dry. Ooh, this might work. I'll tell you what, if this does work, this is one hell of a calculated gamble that will pay off. I'll actually change that. Right, so don't faff too much. Once that's gone off, we'll just run around a little bit with the thin, just around that edge, just to seal it all in properly. Like I say, we'll touch that back in with the what's it called? The dark grey. Not a problem. Not a problem. Whilst we're waiting for that, we'll add one of these tiny little agu things to the underneath of here. Yeah, alright. Oh! Email. Email? Really? Email? That'll be the boss. Actually, I need you back in tomorrow. That wouldn't surprise me. Oh, that works. That works. We've got light grey over a dark grey. That works. We're happy with that. Just give that a quick manoeuvre. There's me, there you are. Quick manoeuvre into position. Like I say, nice smooth surface. Don't speak the brush in your mouth, Tony. It's very rude. Nice smooth surface, so that should just bed down straight away. We shouldn't need too much set and sol. And we'll pop this one in. I'll do this one in time lapse. who's feeling brave. So I'm just going to take this helmet here as a reference. So we've got the dark half and the light. Dark and the light. No, stop it. Stop your nonsense. Right, so let's come down a little bit. And I'm going to take my trusty pin, like so. Now I can actually see, where's it gone? Just there, there's a tiny little line. Now we'll seal this in with a couple of coats of gloss varnish. So I'm just literally going to score very carefully along that seam, just there. I'm just going to pull you back out a little bit because I can't quite get my head in. There we go. I'm literally just going to follow that line. What this will do, this will pre-score the decal. Now, I've actually used this quite a few times on undercarriage and things like that, where you get the undercarriage door on the underside of a wing and you get the seam there. You just run your blade through, or in this case a needle, just to break that seam. And hopefully we shouldn't crack the decals too much. And it is one of those toe curling moments as well. If I just chuck the pin in there, we should now see the decal separate slightly. Takes very more patience as well, so I'm just going to drop you right up in the air like that, so I can get my head right in, so I can see what I'm doing. And then we can very carefully start breaking the seam on the PVA glue. Which will then help us appreciate where the seam is too. There we go. So I've got a little crack there. So you should be able to see now what we're aiming for. Like I said, this is how I normally tackle undercarriage. And trust me, this really is heart in your mouth moment. So just take your time with it, don't force it. There we go. So run it up both times, both sides even. Yeah, see. Okay, there we go. 2 Hamlet halves. And what we do now, oh, I'll tell you what. Look at that. That's how much concentration I was using. All we do now is very, very carefully just see if we can grab some of that PVA glue back off. Like so. Very careful, very gently. Quick nibble. Like so, taking care of these edges. And then what we'll do is we'll just run some number 2 goop around this edge here. Just run it over the top. And 2 halves up. There we go. Lovely stuff. So yeah, we'll run some number 2 bottle over the top just to nip back over that edge. Seal it with a gloss varnish, and then these exposed white bits at the back, we'll just hit that again with a quick overlay of the dark grey, just to match it up with the rest of the inside helmet liner. Well, basically now what we're aiming for is, once we've got Valley's head on, we can now display him like so, if we so choose. I like that. I like that a lot. And then if we're displaying him with a full mush on, we just drop the liner over the top. Hold on. Take the head back off. Drop the liner over the top, he says. Come on. You work in practice. Come on, cooperate. Well, I'm on telly. Come on, behave yourself. There you go. Drop that on. Rear helmet on. Front helmet on. Quick push, and then we're in. He says. There we go, that's it. That's done almost. Go, behave yourself, lad. There we go. Now we can drop that back on in place. Like so. Oh, look at that. Right, the other thing we need to have a look at is on this visor. take off my cocking nail stick, because we've gloss varnished that as well now, just to seal these decals in on the visor itself. We'll drop that in there. Now that's horribly loose. It is. What they give us is, where have you gone? There you are. Double-sided, sticky, tapey type thing. So you literally need a tiny little bit by the look of it, just behind where these monster logos are, just in there. So we're not going to need a huge detail, a huge piece even. So I'm literally going to make sure I'm really shot first. Saw that. And trim that in half again. Like so. Find one edge. Bob that in place. Like so. Curl that around the corner, out of the way. I'm actually going to see if we can angle this up so that he's got his visor open a slight little bit. Drop you on there like so. So you can see we've got that huge piece of double-sided tape, and you literally need a couple of tiny little corners. Now we can chuck the visor up like so if we need to. We can still display him with his eyes open if we so desire. And there's enough tape there as well that we can chuck the whole helmet shut like so. You pay your money, you take your choice. So just let me reconfigure that. So that tape's still set for the up position. There we go. Chuck that on, you can just about make his face. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Right, so enough faffing about with that. These metal parts should be sorted out by now. There's my bin. So these nice shiny metal parts should be sorted by now, and we'll get some gloss varnish over the top of all this. We'll get the main decals on there. Slowly getting there. Right, so we'll leave it here. I genuinely don't know which episode this is, whether it's 8 or 9 now, something like that, but I'll flash it up and you know which episode we're on. We'll leave it there. Like I say, I'll gloss varnish this now, and then we'll do the decals in the next episode. So in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this has inspired you to grab this kit, because you need it. That helmet was serious fun, it really was. Don't be put off by it. Yeah, there's a lot of decals there. If you take your time, you plan it, allow a day for it at least. Don't try and get them all sorted out in one sitting. You will achieve something along those lines. It's fantastic. So bob along, see my mates at eModels.co.uk, grab it from them. They also have videos from Fox the model making guru, and Ted at Skipper's something or other, I can't remember, sorry Ted. Ted's building the amazing 1/16 scale Tiger, not Tiger, that's mine, Panzer IV. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I seriously suggest that you watch those videos. Similarly with Fox the model making guru, incredibly talented Mr. Fox. He's doing a Grandpa Gundam at the moment. He's massive. He's nearly as tall as he is. Seriously, he's Diddy in real life. everything you see him doing on that kit, the materials came from here. Same with Ted, everything he's using has come from here. Everything you've seen me use so far has come from here. Go spend some money with them. Great bunch of guys. Right, I'll leave it there. Enough waffling. I've got far too much coffee in my system. Can you tell? It's just rabbit. So I'll say see you later. Take care, guys, and thank you so much for watching.